Morning and welcome to Gardening 365 63. My first job I'm going to do is pick some of these looping seeds. I'm just going to pull them off, put them in a tray, take them to the greenhouse, get them dried, and then we can plant them early next year. And that's it, pretty much done. Got the loopings inside now, the seeds. Taking a few out, but I'll let them dry some more before I take them all out the pods. And here's a little space that I took some onions out last week, just before it rained. So there's an opportunity now to get something in there. And I'm going to put some more beetroot in. Now they're in pots at the moment, so I'll just take them out the pots and put them straight in the ground. And I've got them in now, so I'll let the rain do its job now, because I think it's going to rain. In fact, it has rained a little bit, to welcome them into their new home. So they are beetroot. And the little baby wild ducks, or the ducklings, are all doing really well. Mum's just left them briefly, but she'll be back with them very shortly. Ain't they lovely? Probably about 5 weeks old and enjoying life. And everyone needs one of these or something similar in their kitchen. Somewhere to put their vegetable waste in, so then it can be taken outside. Builds up, we put it outside, and then once a week I take it down to the compost. Now I've got 4 compost bins and a wormery. Now you don't need anything as big as that. I'll show you what you could have instead of very shortly. Now just to show you how quick the compost starts working. Now this is under a week old, what I put in here last week. And typical, everything's disappeared, but we got wood lice. I just saw some little compost worms, and that's how quick it starts to break down. For it to completely break down, obviously like this, it could take up to a year, but it's worth the wait. It makes great compost for the garden. There it is in the bin now, and kitchen waste is usually greens. If you look at it, it's fairly green in colour, and it's a stuff that supplies nitrogen into your soil when you've got it. But you do need something else to go in your compost as well. Bear with me. You need carbon, and this can be in the form of shredded paper or cardboard or something similar. Just make sure it doesn't have any sellotape or any glue on it, because that's not good then for the environment. Now this is compost I've got ready to go into the wormery. If you look in there, there's your greens, which is your nitrogen, and then your paper and cardboard, which is your carbon. And what I do is give it a good old mix up before I put it into the wormery. Now it's just one of those carrying containers. Now you could use one of these to make compost. You probably, if you're going to keep it outside, need to cover it, and it'd probably be better with some little holes in the bottom just to allow the liquid just to drain out the bottom. You can keep that if you want to as well. Just turn it over as often as you can. You can either use your hands or a stick if you don't like putting your hand in it, but there's absolutely no smell to this whatsoever if you've got greens and browns in there. Eggshells, they're perfect in compost, so I'm going to throw them in. Tea bags, they're really good in your compost as well. Now you can take them out the bags if you want to. I'm going to do that because I'm going to put them into my worm compost, but as long as they've not got plastic, and you need to check with the manufacturers, they're fine to go in just like this. And there's the tea out of the bags, and that's full of nitrogen, so it's great for the garden. So I'm going to throw that into my worm compost. Now on the grander scale, for carbon, in my main compost I use wood chip, but you don't have to do that, it's not necessary. So here's a challenge. I want to see some photographs of your compost bins and how you use them. Okay, so get sharing them, okay, and give other people some good ideas of what you do. This is compost week. And have a look at this one. I'm going to get a bit closer. Whoa, and isn't that absolutely stunning? Not sure what type it is. I'll have to get better at identifying these, because I do see a lot of these now, so I'd like to know what it is. I've just been down the little cottage garden, and I've tried just to pull out any weeds that I can get to. Still got the poppies, and later I'm going to come out and take off those poppy seed heads. Now the way to tell the seed heads, that's a seed head, and that's a poppy about to come into bloom. So don't take the ones that are about to come into bloom. A couple of tomatoes there, outdoor ones, and a self-set lobelia. And what I'm going to do is just plant that area with some spring onions. Yes, spring onions. I'm sure they'll still grow at this time of the year. I've got 3 types of spring onions I'm going to use. They're purple, whatever they are. I've got some Roger D something, and these were from Lidl last year. And these were D Barletta. I grew some of these last year and they were lovely, so I'm going to put all 3 in. I'm just going to make a very simple line down with my hand, nothing fancy, all the way down, and then because I want 3 rows, put a middle one in. Again, nothing fancy. I can actually road test these, which is the nicest ones. The white ones were the nicest last year. Wasn't so keen on the red ones. This year I've got some purple ones. Not to be biased. I'm going to go with the ones I wasn't so keen on. First of all, the red type ones. Ah! Cut. Only joking. Got them ready now. Just got a little bit of rain coming at the minute. The seeds, I'm not sure if you can see them, little black ones. And you can place these. They are the sort of size where you can not having a good one. Where you can just sprinkle them out. And I'm going to start with these. These are the seeds. They're the sort of size you can just drop them into place. And next I'm going in with the white onions, the ones we grew last year, and they were lovely. And I'm going to finish with these from Bargain Seeds. Spring onions, purple. First year of growing these, 29p a packet. So to collect the poppy seeds, just snip them off, and that's the seeds. Snip them all off. Obviously be careful not to take any of the buds. Showed you how to identify them before. Keep snipping them. There's a bud, another flower, not produce another seed head. And that's it with them. Now these are my poppy seeds that I've had out for drying. If you see, if you can just shake them upside down, all the little poppy seeds come out. They've got to be dried for that to happen. And then when they're finished, throw them in your compost bin. A good shake. And out they come. And I do exactly the same with the lupins. Now I had to stop filming for 2 reasons. One, it was raining, and number 2, my battery ran out. Now if I was Steven Spielberg's masterpiece, that wouldn't have happened. But I haven't got 20th Century Fox supporting me. So obviously things like batteries running out can happen. Now I'm planting now something called, bear with me, lettuce salad bowl mix. And the reason why I'm planting them, Claire said recently, oh, I like sort of cut and cut again. So I'm going to put some in, and I'm going to put them in one of my tubs. Now I'm going to use these in 3 or 4 weeks time for growing potatoes for Christmas. So hopefully these ain't going to last too long, but I have got carrot salt that come out before then, so I will have containers to put the potatoes in. So I'm going to put them in now. Big problems with this today. They're tiny little seeds, lettuce seeds. So I'm just going to sprinkle them everywhere. Hopefully I've got enough. Yeah, looks like there's plenty. There's all sorts of different types of lettuce here. Some red ones and all sorts of different ones. I don't know. You cut them and they grow again. You do about 3 or 4 times before you're finished. Put plenty in. And now I've done that, I'm just going to cover it up with soil. I don't want to be too deep. And that should be about enough soil. So I'm just going to smooth it over. With a little bit of water. It's fairly damp, the soil. Put a little bit of water on that. I'd like to see them in about a week's time. And not far off a finish now. So I'm going to give the greenhouse a really good watering now. And there's my gardening buddy. He spends most of his day out with me. Plenty of tomatoes, plenty of everything. Now to note, these are the tomatoes that I grew from a piece of tomato. Look how much they've grown over the last couple of 3 weeks. Okay, they were only small coming out their pots a couple of 3 weeks ago. So really pleased with them. The tomatoes had a feed yesterday, so it's just purely water today. And earlier when my phone was flat, I discovered these. I've got a few of them. They're called toad lilies. And this one's just about to come out in flower, and they are beyond gorgeous. So watch, I'm guessing about a week and this one will be out. It'll be absolutely spectacular. Hopefully for the next Gardening 365. Obviously I'll keep you informed. And that concludes this week's Gardening 365, Gardening 365 63. Join me next week for Garden 365 64. Thank you ever so much for watching. Please keep subscribing to YouTube. It's really important. It's the only way I'm going to grow the site. Keep subscribing to Facebook. Keep inviting your friends. We're well over 1,000 now, which is great. I'd like it to be more than that though, obviously. And join me next week where it's going to be a pickling special. So I'm going to be doing pickle onions. I'm hoping to do some pickle beetroot, and hopefully that toad lily will be out. So it should be a really good one next week. This week has been difficult. Obviously we've had showers all the time, so I can only do limited stuff. Next week hopefully the weather is a bit better as well. So one last time, bye and see you next time.